I don't know. Chaitanya Charitamrita, no?
To the lecture, like Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yeah. There is no lecture, or it will be a lecture. No? No lecture because we were advanced.
Whatever devotees want to do.
I don't know.
Don't you read much to do?
Read. Everyone's looking at you.
Not so far. Would they okay, right? Yeah, the kids. It's just it's the daughter's birthday. They wanted to do some ceremony for 2 days. Krishna, so we're reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 15. The Lord accepts prasadam at the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Okay. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda
Jai Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jai Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda
Jai Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jai Dvaita
Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Nityananda Prabhu, go to Bengal and without restriction manifest devotional service to the Lord Krishna consciousness. Purport. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thus ordered Nityananda Prabhu to deliver all the Bengalis to devotional service. In the Bhagavad Gita 9:32, the Lord says, Mam hi partavya pashrutya ye pi syo papa yonaha striyo vaishastata sudras te pi yanti param gatim. O son of Prita, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, vaishyas, merchants, sudras, workers, can attain the supreme destination. Whoever takes to Krishna consciousness and follows the regulated principles can return home back to Godhead. In his Anubhasya, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes, there is a class of so-called devotees called Prakrita Sahajiyas who think that Nityananda Prabhu is an ordinary human being. They have spread the news that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Nityananda Prabhu to return to Bengal from Orissa just to marry and beget children. This is certainly a great offense against Nityananda Prabhu. Such an offense is called Paschanda Buddhi, or an atheistic remark. Offenders consider Nityananda Prabhu to be like one of them, an ordinary human being. They do not know of Nityananda Prabhu's identity with the Vishnu Tattva. Thinking Nityananda Prabhu to be an ordinary human being is the business of mental speculators, known as Kunapatmavadis. These people accept the material body, which is a bag of three material elements, Kunape, 3, 2K, as themselves. They think that Nityananda Prabhu's body was similarly material and that it was meant for sense gratification. Whoever thinks in this way is a candidate for the darkest regions of hell. Those who hanker after women and money, who are self-interested and have the mentality of merchants, can certainly discover many things with their fertile brains and speak against the authorized revealed scriptures. They also engage in some money-making business to cheat innocent people, and they try to support their business programs by making such offensive statements. Actually, Nityananda Prabhu, being the expansion of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is the most munificent incarnation. No one should consider him an ordinary human being or an entity like the Prajapatis, who were ordered by Brahma to increase generations. Nityananda Prabhu should not be considered instrumental for sense gratification. Although professional so-called preachers support this idea, such statements are not found in any authorized revealed scriptures. Actually, there is no support for these statements made by Sahajiyas or other professional distributors of Krishna Bhakti. Next verse. Nityananda Prabhu was given assistants like Ramadas, Gadadhar Das, and several others. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I give them to you to assist you. I shall also go to see you at intervals, keeping myself invisible. I shall watch you dance. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then embraced Srivas Pandit and with his arms about his neck began to speak to him in sweet words. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu requested Srivas Thakur, perform congregational chanting daily and be assured that I shall also dance in your presence. You will be able to see this dancing, but not others. Take this prasadam of Lord Jagannath and this cloth and deliver them to my mother, Sachidevi. After offering her obeisances, please request her to excuse my offenses. I have given up the service of my mother and have accepted the sannyas order. Actually, I should not have done this, for by doing I have destroyed my religious principles. I am subordinate to the love of my mother, and it is my duty to serve her in return. Instead of doing so, I have accepted the renounced order. Certainly this is the act of a madman. A mother is not offended by her mad son. Knowing this, my mother is not offended by me. I had no business in accepting the renounced order and sacrificing my love for my mother, which is my real property. Actually, I was in a crazy state of mind when I accepted sannyas. I am staying here at Jagannath Puri, Neelachala, to comply with her orders, but at intervals I go to see her lotus feet. Indeed, I go there daily to see her lotus feet. She is able to feel my presence, although she does not believe it to be true. One day my mother Sachi offered food to Shalagram Vishnu. She offered rice cooked from shali paddies, various kinds of vegetables, spinach curry made of banana flowers, fried patola with nimba leaves, pieces of ginger with lemon, and also yogurt, milk, sugar, candy, and many other foods. Taking the food upon her lap, mother was crying to think that all that food was very dear to her Nimai. My mother was thinking, Nimai is not here. Who will accept all this food? As she meditated upon me in this way, her eyes filled with tears. While she was thus thinking and crying, I immediately went there with great haste and ate everything. Seeing the dish empty, she wiped her tears away. She then began to wonder who had eaten all that food. Why is the plate empty, she wondered, doubting that Balagopal had eaten it all. She began to wonder whether there had actually been anything on the plate in the first place. And then again she thought that some animal might have come and eaten everything. She thought, perhaps by mistake I did not put any food on the plate. So thinking, she went into the kitchen and saw the pots. When she saw that all the pots were still filled with rice and vegetables, there was some doubt in her mind, and she was astonished. Thus wondering, she called Isha, the servant, and had the place cleaned again. She then offered another plate to Gopal. Now, whenever she prepares some good cooked food and wants to feed it to me, she cries in great anxiety. Being obliged by her love, I am brought there to eat. Mother knows all these things internally and feels happiness, but externally she does not accept them. Such an incident took place on the last Vijay Dasani day. You can ask her about this incident and thus make her believe that I actually go there. While describing all this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became a little overwhelmed, and just to finish bidding farewell to the devotees, he remained patient. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu next spoke some relishable words to Raghava Pandit. He said, I am obliged to you due to your pure love for me. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then informed everyone, just hear about the pure devotional service rendered to Krishna by Raghava Pandit. Indeed, Raghava Pandit's service is supremely pure and highly accomplished. Apart from other commodities, just hear about his offering of coconuts. A coconut is sold at the rate of 5 gangas each. Although he already has hundreds of trees and millions of fruits, he is still very eager to hear about the place where sweet coconuts are available. He collects coconuts with great endeavour from a place 20 miles away, and he pays 4 panas each for them. Every day, 5 to 7 coconuts are clipped and put into water to keep cool. At the time of offering boga, the coconuts are again clipped and cleansed. After holes are made in them at the top, they are offered to Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna drinks the juice from these coconuts, and sometimes the coconuts are left drained with juice. At other times, the coconuts remain filled with juice. When Raghava Pandit sees that the juice has been drunk from the coconuts, he is very pleased. He then breaks the coconuts, takes out the pulp, and puts it on another plate. After offering the pulp, he meditates outside the temple door. In the meantime, Lord Krishna, having eaten the pulp, leaves the plate empty. Sometimes after eating the pulp, Krishna fills the plate again with new pulp. In this way, the fate of Raghava Pandit increases, and he floats in an ocean of love. One day it so happened that about 10 coconuts were properly clipped and brought by a servant to offer to the deity. When the coconuts were brought, there was little time to offer them because it was already late. The servant, holding the container of coconuts, remained standing at the door. Raghava Pandit then saw that the servant touched the ceiling above the door and then touched the coconuts with the same hand. Raghava Pandit then said, people are always coming and going through that door. The dust from their feet blows up and touches the ceiling. After touching the ceiling above the door, you have touched the coconuts. Now they are no longer fit to be offered to Krishna because they are contaminated. Purport. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur states that Raghava Pandit was not simply a crazy fellow suffering from some cleansing phobia. He did not belong to the mundane world. In lower consciousness, accepting something to be spiritual when it is actually material is called Moma Ijya Dihi. Raghava Pandit was an eternal servitor of Krishna, and everything he saw was related to the service of the Lord. He was always absorbed in the transcendental thought of how he could always serve Krishna with everything. Sometimes neophytes, devotees on the lower platform, tried to imitate Raghava Pandit on the platform of material purity and impurity. Such imitation will not help anyone. As explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhadra Bhadra Vashtu Gyan Nahika Prakite. On the transcendental platform, there is no higher or lower, pure or impure. On the material platform, distinction is made between good and bad. But on the spiritual platform, everything is of the same quality. In the material world, conceptions of good and bad are all mental speculations. Therefore, saying this is good and that is bad is all a mistake. Such is the service, back to translations again. Such is the service of Raghava Pandit. He did not accept the coconuts but threw them over the wall. His service is purely based on unalloyed love and conquers the whole world. Thereafter, Raghava Pandit had other coconuts gathered, cleansed and clipped, and with great attention he offered them to the deity to eat. In this way he collects from distant villages excellent bananas, mangoes, oranges, jackfruits, and whatever other first-class fruits he has heard about. All these fruits are collected from distant places and bought at a high price. After trimming them with great care and purity, Raghava Pandit offers them to the deity. Thus, with great care and attention, Raghava Pandit prepares spinach, other vegetables, radishes, fruits, chipped rice, powdered rice, and sweetmeats. He prepares cakes, sweet rice, condensed milk, and everything else with great attention. And the cooking conditions are purified so that the food is first class and delicious. Raghava Pandit also offers all kinds of pickles, such as kashamdi. He offers various scents, garments, ornaments, and the best of everything. Thus, Raghava Pandit serves the Lord in an incomparable way. Everyone is very much satisfied just to see him.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Just all the
Right.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then mercifully embraced Raghava Pandit. The Lord also offered all the other devotees a farewell with similar respect. The Lord also respectfully told Shivananda Sena, take care of Vasudev Datta very nicely. Vasudev Datta is very liberal. Every day, whatever income he receives, he spends. He does not keep any balance. Because a householder, Vasudev Datta, needs to save money, because he is not doing so, it is very difficult for him to maintain his family. Please take care of Vasudev Datta's family affairs, become his manager, and make the proper adjustments. Do you want me to read the purports as well, Kareem?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But the purport, Vasudev Datta and Shivananda Sena were living in the same neighborhood, which is presently called Kumarhata or Halishahara. Come every year and bring all my devotees with you to the Gandicha festival. I also request you to maintain all of them. The Lord then with great respect extended an invitation to all the inhabitants of Kulinagram, asking them to come every year and bring silken rope to carry Lord Jagannath during the Rath Yatra festival. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then said, Gunaraja Khan of Kulinagram compiled a book called Sri Krishna Vijay, in which there is a sentence revealing the author's ecstatic love of Krishna. Purport. Sri Krishna Vijay is a book of poems considered to be the first poetry book written in Bengal. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur states this book was begun in the year 1395, Shakabda, AD 1473. After 7 years it was completed. This book was written in plain language, and even half-educated Bengalis and women could read it very clearly. Even ordinary men with little knowledge of the alphabet could read this book and understand it. Its language is not very ornamental, and sometimes the poetry is not very sweet to hear. Although, according to the sonnet style, each line should contain 14 syllables. There are sometimes 16, 12, or 13 syllables in his verse. Many words used in those days could be understood only by local inhabitants. Yet this book is still so popular that no bookstore is complete without it. It is very valuable for those who are interested in advancing of Krishna consciousness. Sri Gunaraja Khan was one of the topmost Vaishnavas, and he translated the 10th and 11th cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam for the understanding of the common man. The book Sri Krishna Vijay was highly praised by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it's very valuable for all Vaishnavas. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gives a genealogical table and family history of Gunaraja Khan. When a Bengali emperor named Adisura first came from Kanyakubja or Kanauj, he brought with him 5 Brahmanas and 5 Kayastas. Since the king is supposed to be accompanied by his associates, the Brahmanas accompanied the king to help him in higher spiritual matters. The Kayastas were to render other services. In the northern Indian high country, the Kayastas are accepted as Sudras, but in Bengal, the Kayastas are considered among the higher castes. It is a fact that the Kayastas came to Bengal from northern India, specifically from Kanyakubja or Kanauj. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that the Kayastas who came from Kanyakubja were high-class men. Of them, Dasharat Vashu was a great personality, and the 13th generation of his family included Gunaraja Khan. His real name was Maladar Vashu, but the title Khan was given to him by the Emperor of Bengal. Thus he became known as Gunaraja Khan. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gives the following genealogical table of Gunaraja Khan. 1. Dasharat Vashu. 2. Kushala. 3. Subhashankar. 4. Hamsa. 5. Saktiram. Muktiram. And Alankara. 6. Damodar. 7. Anantaram. 8. Gunanyaka and Vinanyaka. The 12th generation included Bhagirath and the 13th Maladara Vashu or Gunaraja Khan. Sri Gunaraja Khan had 14 sons, of whom the second son, Lakshunak Vashu, received the title Satyaraj Khan. His son was Sri Ramananda Vashu. Therefore, Ramananda Vashu belonged to the 15th generation. Gunaraja Khan was a very well-known and wealthy man. His palace, fort and temples are still existing, and from these we can deduce that the opulence of Gunaraja Khan was certainly very great. Sri Gunaraja Khan never cared for the artificial aristocracy introduced by Balal Sena. Shall I continue? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, is my life and soul. By this statement, I am sold into the hands of the descendants of Gunaraja Khan. Purport. The full verse referred to is Ekabhave Bandahari Yodakari Hata Nandanandana Krishna Mura Prananata. With folded hands, I offer my prayers unto Krishna, Nanda Maharaj's son, who is my life and soul. Translation. To me, but to say nothing of you, even a dog living in your village is very dear to me. What then to speak of others? After this, Ramananda Vashu and Satyaraj Khan both submitted questions at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Satyaraj Khan said, My dear Lord, being a householder and a materialistic man, I do not know the process of advancing in spiritual life. I therefore submit myself unto your lotus feet and request you to give me orders. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, Without cessation, continue chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna. Whenever possible, serve him and his devotees, the Vaishnavas. Upon hearing this, Satyaraj said, How can I recognize a Vaishnava? Please let us know what a Vaishnava is. What are his common symptoms? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, Whoever chants the holy name of Krishna just once is worshipable and is the topmost human being. Purport. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that a person who simply chants the holy name of Krishna once becomes perfect and should be regarded as a Vaishnava. This is confirmed by Srila Rupa Goswami in the Upadeshamrita. Krishnati yasya giri tam manashadriyeta. With such faith in the holy name, one may begin a life of Krishna consciousness. But an ordinary person cannot chant the holy name of Krishna with such faith. One should accept the holy name of Krishna to be identical with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Transcendence himself. As the Padma Purana states, the holy name of Krishna is identical with Krishna and is like a Chintamani gem, a touchstone. That name is Krishna personified in sound and is therefore perfectly transcendental and eternally liberated from material contamination. Thus one should understand that the name Krishna and Krishna himself are identical. Having such faith, one must continue to chant the holy name. When one is situated on the neophyte platform, one cannot understand the devotional ingredients of pure unalloyed devotee. However, when the novice engages in devotional service, especially in deity worship, and follows the order of a bona fide spiritual master, he is a pure devotee. Anyone can take advantage of hearing about Krishna consciousness from such a devotee, and thus gradually become purified. In other words, any devotee who believes that the holy name of the Lord is identical with the Lord is a pure devotee, even though he may be in the neophyte stage. By his association, others may also become Vaishnavas. One is known as a materialistic devotee if he simply worships the deity of Hari with faith, but does not show proper respect to the devotees and to others. This is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. Archayam eva haraye pujam ya shraddhaye tahe natad bhakteshu chanyesu sa bhakta prakrita smrita. Yet even by associating with such a neophyte devotee, one can become a devotee also. When Lord Chaitanya was teaching Sanatana Goswami, he said, oh God, Sridhavan Janahaya Bhakti Adhikari Uttama Madhyama Kanishta Shraddha Anusari Yahara Komala Shraddha Se Kanista Jana Krame Krame Tenho Bhakta Hahive Uttama Rati Prema Taratamye Bhakta Taratam. A person who has attained firm faith is a real candidate for advancing in Krishna consciousness. According to the faith, there are first class, second class, and neophyte devotees. One who has preliminary faith is called a Kanishta Adhikari, or a neophyte. The neophyte, however, can become an advanced devotee if he strictly follows the regulated principles set down by the spiritual master. Therefore, it is on the basis of faith and attachment to Krishna that one can judge who is a Madhyamaka Adhikari or an Uttama Adhikari. It is thus concluded that even a neophyte devotee is superior to the Karmis and Jnanis because he has full faith in chanting the holy name of the Lord. A Karmi or a Jnani, regardless of his greatness, has no faith in Lord Vishnu, his holy name, or his devotional service. One may be advanced religiously, but if he has not trained in devotional service, he has very little credit on the transcendental platform. Even a neophyte devotee, engaged in deity worship, in accordance with the regulations set forth by the spiritual master, is in a position superior to that of the fruited worker and speculative philosopher. Let's see. Simply by chanting the name of the holy name of Krishna once, a person is relieved from all the reactions of a sinful life. One can complete the 9 processes of devotional service simply by chanting the holy name. Purport. The 9 types of devotional service are mentioned in the Bhagavatam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Arjanam, Bandhanam, Dasyam, Shakyam, Atmanivedanam. Iti Pumshapita Vishnau Bhaktische Navalakshana Kriteya Bhagavate Adatan Manye Tam Uttamam. Process of devotional service entails hearing, chanting, and remembering the holy name, form, pastimes, qualities, and entourage of the Lord, offering service according to the time, place, and performer, worshipping the deity, offering prayers, always considering oneself the eternal servant of Krishna, making friends with him, and dedicating everything unto him. These 9 types of devotional service, when directly offered to Krishna, constitute the highest attainment of life. This is the verdict of the revealed scriptures. As for being freed from all sinful reactions by chanting the holy name of Krishna only once, one must chant the holy name without committing any offences. Then chanting one name is sufficient to rescue a living being from all sinful reactions. Such a person who chants the holy name of the Lord offenselessly is very important and worshipable. Indeed, the 9 devotional processes, beginning with Shravana and Kirtana, can all be attained at once if one simply chants the holy name of the Lord offenselessly. In this regard, Srila Jiva Goswami states in his book Bhakti Sandarbha, Yadyapi anya bhakti kalau kartavya tada kirtanakya bhakti samyogena yuva. Out of the 9 processes of devotional service, kirtan is very important. Srila Jiva Goswami therefore instructs that the other processes such as archana, vandana, dasya, and shakya should be executed, but they should be preceded and followed by kirtan, the chanting of the holy name. We have therefore introduced the system in all of our centers. Archana, arti, bhoga offering, deity dressing, and decoration are all preceded and followed by the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama. One does not have to undergo initiation or execute the activities required for initiation. One simply has to vibrate the holy name with his lips. Thus, even a man in the lowest class, Chandala, can be delivered. You're just going to stop me at some point, right?
It's half past.
Okay.
You can continue on if you want.
Yeah, okay. Purport. Srila Jiva Goswami explains Diksha in his Bhakti Sandarbha. Diksha is the process by which one can awaken his transcendental knowledge and vanquish all reactions caused by simple activity. A person